Hello everyone. In today's video I'm just literally just going to show you what some of your finals might look like. I have an older example I did as a sort of survival horror theme um, final room listed below, so you can feel free to do themes. Obviously you could do sci-fi, you could do whatever, whatever um, whatever's going to keep you most engaged, and I really want you to have fun with it. That's the catch to it. I really would like you to have fun with it. So um, please don't wait till last minute. If you are looking at this, I have for every single week, continue working on your final, start working on your final, etc., etc. So every week you should be doing your assignments, obviously, as well as at least one model, and try to get it, unwrapped, textured, um, normal, specular, diffuse maps done. But I did take something. Now, this isn't something, I know you guys are going to recognize it. That's why I'm bringing it up. I just wanted to add a little bit more context to this. So I've got a coffee table, brand new. I've had some students, if you do a really complicated model, this one isn't too bad, but I know we're all sort of beginning, that if you did a model that has a lot of different sort of other models inside of it, I could count this as two objects, but it better be intricate enough for me to count it as two objects. I literally had to go through, and on this one, let's go to 5 real quick. Um, I did the little sliders here on the side for this drawer. Obviously, the handle, the drawer itself, it's indented, like sort of extruded in. It looks like I beveled some edges on it. But yeah, so I did this little coffee table. So just to give you an idea, then I have the couch here. Each cushion is they're all the same cushion, more or less, just using a soft select tool and sort of maybe rescaling and resizing. So this really is sort of one model. But you can see here, let me turn off my resolution gate. Did I not click it? Oh, I think I got to do no gate. There we go. So you'll see I would count this as one model. I mean, it's the base here at the bottom, it's the couch itself, and then these cushions. So this would be one model, but this one, it's all going to be sort of, I've seen it here or there, very rarely. And then I've got this lamp. This lamp's pretty intricate, but I did at one time have it all as one mesh. I kind of played around with creating a mesh light here, so I started to extract things and started to play around with lighting a little bit, so it helped. But this lamp altogether really all was sort of one model by itself. But I could say that this is pretty intricate. I had to go through and most of it, though, it's most of this is extruded from a cylinder. So I think I have a speed video on the speed model of when I created it. But try to keep it as try not to get overcomplicated. But I want you to have 6 different things. Your room, the room itself, so meaning like the walls and the floor, that will be one object. I will count that as one object. The couch is going to be an object. I threw in 2 different books, so if you did an open book and a closed book, that would be 2 separate objects, right? They're not the same book at all. They're totally separately modeled. My coffee table here, this is debatable. I would recommend against doing opening drawers. That's really for like if you're going to animate, since we're not animating. I wouldn't worry too much about it. I included the bookshelf here just because I felt like it was a good enough filler to sort of wrap up this final for us. And just a quick heads up, I don't want you expanding from your midterm. I don't want you adding, 6 different types of axes or swords or anything, chains or whatever you come up with. I want you to start a new model. I want you to start a new room. all modeled, and I would like you to do, obviously it's all in the rubric, six models. The wall and the floors count as one, and then 6 additional objects. So in here I've got 1, this is 2 technically, right? 3, 4, this is 5. I mean, the lampshade is extracted from this model, but you know, you get the idea. This is all going to be one model. I've got the bookshelf. So hold on. So the walls and the floors is 1. 1 book, 2 books. So that comes to 3, 4. The couch is 5, and the lamp is 6. You know, just do your best. Don't make the models too complicated, but at the same time, don't make them too simple. A simple, let's just say a cylinder that you and I'm just going to say this is going to be a clock. And I'm going to, oops. It's going to be like super long. I don't want you to take a cylinder and plop a clock texture on it. Like that's too simple. So make sure that you do something extra to that clock. Let's just say you decided to just to give you as an example, right, and then I do too long. And then let's bring this down. Okay, and then all right, and then just so we can see it. This would be an AI shader. Everything's going to be an AI shader. I just wanted to kind of show you what a clock might look like. So if you're going to do something, you know, simple or more simple, I expect you to have some complicated models in there. But some things just don't need to be exactly very, very intricate. Try to add those smaller details to your model. So in this case, I've got this little clock here, right? And then, you know, this is just something, and then maybe I add like a border to it, right? Of course. We'll extrude them in a little bit. Maybe I do pull it out a little bit. And then maybe I drop it back again a little bit. So I create some additional detail. Okay, blend 3. Oh, look at that. Lucky guess. Okay, so now you can see I've added some extra detail to this model. You could use the type tool, right, on this clock. I want you to think about these things. and in this case 1, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and drag this up, drag this over, zoom in, scale it down. I guess I should have maybe started with 12, right? And then I can, bring down my size. Oop. And still need to bring it down quite a bit. Let's do center. See if that helps at all. I don't know, you get the idea. Is that bleeding through? Something like that, right? And then I can add each according, but I won't be able to duplicate it. I was hoping I could be able to duplicate it. But then I would go again and do, let's just do 3, scale it down to size, all that kind of stuff, and then but you get the idea, right? So don't just do something very, very basic and simple. If it's a simple model, add these extra details, go the little bit extra mile, and add some extra things to it. So even though this model is simple, at the end it could look really, really cool, right? So just to give you an idea, that was just one that popped in my head. So now I've got a little clock on there, right? I'd add the other times I guess there would be times or numbers to it. And then I would have a clock on the wall. So just to give you a little idea, I don't want it to be, I don't want you to utilize a crate in this, just a cube with a texture that we already have done. Don't reuse old models. I know I'm showing you this bookcase or whatever, but create a new bookcase. If you're going to create a bookcase, you already know how to. It's pretty quick, not complicated. Add the texture, unwrap it, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so there we go. 6 on the keyboard. And now I've got a little bit more in my scene. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create your lighting. I've got some lights in here. Do Arnold render. I tried to throw in some filler lights with the blue. I've got a little light for my lamp. I've got the bookcase. I got the floor. I got everything textured. You could even create a little glass over this thing. Now that I'm looking at it, you see this specularity. I didn't adjust the specularity, but if you wanted to get really, really neat and crafty with it, just as an idea. And if you have questions about anything, how do I model this, or how would you kind of go about doing this, shoot me a message with, at least a bare minimum of a screenshot. That looks pretty centered. I'm going to just roll with it. Shift I. And now I could create like a transparency on this thing. Let's do a blend. This is reflectivity. Let's see what it's got for AI standard surface real quick. On here, it's probably going to be one of these, yep, to give it that transparent look. so it's got like a glass kind of clear plastic or whatever above it, so no one can mess with the time, right? Bring down the specularity, or I'll just leave it at full. Anyway, let's just run a quick little render real quick. Oop. And now you see I've got that same clock with a little orb over it, and you can still see through it. But anyway, if you do, have questions for me with anything, how could I add to this model? How can I add more detail? How can I, what would you do? All that kind of stuff. Shoot me a message, and I will respond to you and let you know. I'll even, send me the Maya file. I'll take a look at it. But other than that, 6 objects. I hope I was clear enough. If I wasn't, shoot me a message and ask me. Then also, make sure everything has a diffuse, specular, normal map. 3 maps to attach to each object, all textured. And then make sure you include a render. If you're struggling with some renders, I know 1 or 2 students, at least every semester, has a little issue, whether it's Arnold or a hardware issue. Just snap a screenshot of your scene with the lights and everything in it, and then snap another screenshot of it with wireframe unshaded. I will accept that, given the certain circumstances. However, I do prefer a render. I would like to see what it looks like, near complete. And then don't forget, you can always do a little Photoshop composite at the end, like I just showed you in the last lab or two. And then you can, if the lighting's not turning out just right, go in there and sort of just paint it in. I'm totally okay with that. That's why I show it to you. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed this. So you would want to submit a screenshot with this. You'd want to submit a render that I just closed out of course. And then I'd like to also have you submit all your texture files and your Maya file or files, whatever you got, and zip it all into a folder just like you did with the midterm, and that'll do it. But please don't hesitate to reach out to me. This is, I think, the final is the heaviest weighted grade in the class. Let me just double check to make sure I'm not mixing it up with the midterm on the. So your final is going to be 40% of your final grade. 40%. It's almost half of your final grade. So please take it seriously. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. I can't wait to see what your finals look like, and let me know, notify me, shoot me a message, whatever, as soon as you can, if you do have any other questions. All right, that's all I got for you. I look forward to your submissions. I hope you had a wonderful semester, and maybe I'll see you in 3D modeling too. All right, bye.